Hello and welcome to the second installment of CCRI Today, a show that covers the latest events and happenings on campus. I'm your host, Riley Sullivan. Here are our top stories. Graduation is fast and approaching. Coming up, everything you need to know before the big day. Plus, Road to Recovery, a Knight campus staff member finding healing through origami. How she's spreading kindness on campus coming up. Topping our show today, an update on the man charged earlier this month following the lockdown on CCRI's Knight campus. Police say they received a report of a suspicious person along Commonwealth Avenue who appeared to have a gun poking out of their backpack near the wooded area behind campus. Knight campus was placed on lockdown. A backpack was later discovered in the woods. Nathan Randall was arrested 2 days later after admitting to owning the backpack. Randall was charged with illegal possession of a firearm. He also has 4 outstanding warrants. Randall is now being held at the ACI. On the last episode, we spoke with Chief Paul King on campus security. Very shortly after the lockdown incident took place, this was 1 week before the state's higher education panel voted to arm officers for CCRI and Rhode Island College. We once again talked with Campus Police Chief Paul King about the lockdown and this new action. Here's our exclusive interview. Chief, how are you?
Great, thanks, and thanks for having me here.
Yeah, thanks for doing this again. So, just real quick, general statement on what happened recently at the school with the whole scare that we all had.
Alright, so on April 7th at 8:53, CCRI Police was notified by Warwick Fire Department that a subject had been walking down the road, heading towards Commonwealth Avenue, and in his backpack he displayed the butt of a rifle.
Right.
At that point I had several officers in the parking lot and we had the cameras trained in that direction looking for the subject.
Mm-hmm.
My belief was that in 5 minutes Warwick Police was going to see the subject, find out whether the rifle was real, find out their intentions, and then the problem would be resolved.
Right.
After 15 minutes of that not happening, my officers then came back into the building, locked the entire building down.
So now I know that the suspect was taken into custody after, but...
Yes, so 2 days later the suspect was taken into custody. While searching the woods, they found the backpack, they found the weapon that was displayed, and they found another actually BB gun inside the backpack.
So I've heard a mix of both. Was it just a BB gun, or were there more weapons involved?
There were more. There was
okay.
A rifle, but it was an air source rifle. And that was the butt of the weapon that was displayed.
Yeah. Did we ever find out what his intention was? Has he clarified that yet, or are we still trying to find that out?
He's what we consider unhoused, and he said, listen, I just have it for my own protection. But he admitted to, yes, I was in the woods, I dumped my backpack, I dumped my shirt, and I ran away because I realized I was displaying a rifle and I shouldn't have.
Right. Now, do you find it interesting that we had talked about campus security a week before, and then this whole incident happened? As the chief of police, how do you feel about that? Like, for just general safety and state of colleges right now?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm very proud of our community campus, and I'm very proud of the officers.
Mm-hmm.
When we called for the lockdown, the classrooms went into lockdown. Students shut off their cell phones, they locked the doors, the officers responded, we secured the campus, then we assisted the state police in Warwick in checking the woods. We had officers come in and search the entire building just in case the suspect had made it inside.
Yeah.
Once we searched the building, we sent out some community messaging letting them know, look, unfortunately we're still in the situation, but I can't thank our community enough for the way they responded. Our students didn't start screaming and yelling, they were calm. Faculty kept them in, people in check. Staff locked their interior doors just to make sure they were safe. So it really did. It worked out very, very well for everybody involved.
Now, is it in times like today, is it better to be safe than sorry?
100%, right? It's always better to be safe than sorry. If that had turned out to be a real weapon, the damage someone could have done with a rifle in a very short amount of time is amazing.
Right.
And then when you look at the distance from Commonwealth Avenue to our back door, It's amazingly short.
It's pretty close. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but since the incident, it has been decided that campus police are going to have weapons, right? Is that correct?
That is correct. The president of CCRI and Rick have requested the Commission on Post-Secondary Education to approve campus police being armed.
Mm-hmm.
The commission did vote on that, and they did approve it. So now the process begins.
I know before when we were speaking, there was a survey going on about that. Was that decision based on that survey, or was it more just precautions after the most recent incident?
Well, no, it was based on the survey. So the president reviewed the results and said, listen, it looks like about 65% of our community, faculty, staff, and students, are in agreement that they're either strongly approve or they approve. So that was a big sway in the president's mind, thinking, our faculty, staff, and students agree with this idea.
Right.
We can arm our people. It gives us a little bit more, a few more tools to use in case we have an incident. So the president was great with it, and the finance vice president, my boss, was, we'll find the money, we'll work something out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in law enforcement for a while, but you're going to find out that most of the officers here have got well over 20 years of law enforcement experience.
Right.
So arming them is not a big change for the officers.
It makes sense. These people have known how to use firearms. Well, Chief, thank you so much for doing 2 interviews with us. We appreciate that a lot at CCRI Today. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
A CCRI student is helping raise money to support the campus police officer who was attacked on the Liston campus last week. CCRI Today's Jason Sutcliffe has the story.
Last Wednesday, I was leaving class around probably like 3:15ish, and when I went to walk out the door, one of the girls kind of grabbed me and was like, "Hey, there's a situation going on, like you might want to go a different way." And I was like, absolutely not, what's going on? That there was an interaction between one of the security guards and another student, and it very quickly escalated to physical. And once it got physical, I don't know, something like snapped inside of me and was just like, go help. Kind of made me realize the severity of reality kind of going on right now with everything else going on in the world, the Brown shooting, that kind of thing. It just, sparked a lot of things to make me realize that our surroundings aren't always as safe as they may appear to be. And my mom was like, why don't you start a fundraiser? Maybe he's going to miss some time from work or need some daily essentials that he may not have the funds available for at the time. And I was like, you're so right. When one of my customers at my work decided, oh wow, that's so nice. There's this little old man down the street from me. I want to do something nice for him. You've inspired me to take up a collection at church for him. So they were able to put together a little bit of money this past weekend, and I think they went out and like bought him his groceries for the weekend or something. So I'm seeing the trickle effect with just sharing that information with people. Go with your gut. If your gut is saying go find somebody, go find somebody. Don't always just stand there and kind of watch. Don't be afraid to step in.
Details on how to donate can be found in the YouTube description box of this episode.
My name is Leanna Faulk. I teach TV production, and I also work as an anchor and a reporter at NBC 10 in Rhode Island. I try to operate the class like an actual newsroom. So I see all of my students as reporters and myself as kind of like the executive producer. So it's been really interesting seeing the way the worlds collide, especially since CCRI has had some big news come out of it recently, especially this semester. So watching the way that my newsroom in NBC 10 covers things and watching how we cover things has really been a joy just to see how those two worlds can kind of overlap. NBC 10 acquired Channel 6, ABC 6 here in Rhode Island as well. So now both stations are operating under the same building, meaning we had a lot of extra material and resources and equipment from Channel 6 that were no longer needed. And I essentially went to my boss at NBC 10 and said that I felt like CCRI would be a great new home for some of this equipment, that being a new news desk for the CCRI channel, a new news background, just something that can make it so that when students are here and we're operating like a new newsroom, like a real newsroom, that it feels and looks as authentic as possible. Join the class, sign up immediately. If you are interested in TV production, how shows are made, how newscasts are made, then sign up for TV production ASAP. It is a great course. It is very hands-on. I don't think a lot of students realize how much hands-on it's going to be. So you're going to be working with cameras, lighting, audio. You're going to be sitting at the news desk. You could actually be hosting the show if that's of interest to you. So there are a lot of great opportunities both in front and behind the camera that I hope people can take advantage of just simply by signing up. So historically, the class was only offered in the spring, but with new enrollment and as more students decide to sign up, we'll have more offerings. So we're hoping that we can have it during the fall and the spring as well, because I would love for the CCRI channel to be operating all year round, because news doesn't stop. And so we are missing out on an entire semester worth of news by not having it all year round.
For more information on the program, contact the Communications Department. Commencement is right around the corner, and here at CCRI Today, we have the answers to all the last-minute questions you and your family might be asking. The commencement ceremony is being held on May 12th at the Myka Mutual Pavilion in Providence. There are no tickets. All of your family and friends are welcome to attend. You can park at the Convention Center lot or the Providence Place Mall. Graduates should arrive at 2:30 p.m. Doors open for guests at 3 p.m. CCRI's Today Will Gerlach spoke to the Dean of Student Engagement for more information.
At this point in time, students should have already completed their intent to grad. However, they can still complete it up until the day. It just means that we've already hit the deadline of printing the commencement program. Completing the intent to graduate means that you're submitting an application to say, I believe I am ready. The records office then determines, yes, you have completed every element of your degree requirement. Once they have approved it, you're then ready to cross the stage, but you're also ready to receive your diploma. Your diploma will get mailed to you in the summer. In terms of regalia, what to wear, students will wear a gown and a cap. They can get that at this point right from the Knight campus bookstore. So just, I guess, general message, continue to complete. Even if you don't think you're eligible, complete it anyway. We'll verify it on the back end.
Students, if you haven't completed your intent to graduate form at this time, it can be found under the For Graduation tab on your My CCRI account. If you've passed through the CCRI Commons, you may have noticed a little booth hanging overhead that would be the CCRI radio station. The CCRI Radio is the Knight campus's 24/7 broadcast program operated by communication students. The station provides the news, podcasts, and live DJ sessions. It also serves as a class and provides its dedicated hosts and operators with credit towards graduation. CCRI's Today, Stephen Osella spoke with the station manager to get more details on the station.
So a DJ session and a podcast session, the biggest difference is that DJ sessions go live. So you have more of an authentic experience when you're listening to a DJ session because it's live, whereas a podcast is not live, it's recorded, then edited later. To work on the show, you want to sign up for the class, and it is called Radio Production Com 1201, and it counts as a gen ed, so you don't have to be enrolled in communications in order to take the class.
The CCRI radio class is offered in the fall and spring. You can also go to ccri.edu/radio for more information. According to the CCRI website, the Advising Center offers a full range of services to CCRI students. However, CCRI Today talked with several students about how difficult it can be actually to access those services. Take a listen.
In this episode of CCRI Today, I'm asking students how they feel about advising at CCRI.
Alright.
I am here with
Myka Richard.
and I want to get your opinion on the CCRI advising. Now, I know it's possible to make meetings, but it's a lot harder than it should be. Like if you go to anything on Starfish, there's no meetings available. What's your opinion on that?
It's really frustrating. I've tried to meet with a new advisor because I wasn't really satisfied with how my advisor was doing things, and they were telling me to talk to my advisor and that I need to schedule a meeting through there, and that you can't schedule a meeting, so it's impossible, it feels like.
Alright, I am here with
my name is Jason Sutcliffe.
And I wanted to get your opinion on the advising team here. I know there's a lot of issues. I know you can set up meetings, but it's a lot more difficult than it should be.
Yeah, I've recently been trying to get in contact with an advisor, just to work out some of the stuff for a transfer to Rick. But I have found it very difficult to get in contact with somebody. For a while, you couldn't get an in-person meeting with anybody. And my, assigned advisor didn't have an availability for weeks. So overall, it was just kind of very tricky to, even get in contact with somebody, let alone, set up the meeting. So.
CCRI Today reached out to the Advising Center and the Vice President of Academic Affairs several times for this story, but did not hear back. Finally, on CCRI Today, a CCRI staff member is recovering from surgery while spreading joy on campus through art. CCRI Today's Nick LaFleur has her story.
I started it because I was bored one time. I'd had some minor surgery and I was laid up for a few days. And I had some origami paper in the house that I'd used for a project. And I had always kind of wanted to start doing origami. So I had some time. I wasn't feeling great, so I thought I can do this and rest. And I started doing it, and my first attempts were awful. And I stumbled around and made lots of mistakes, and then it clicked. And I started to do better. And I just kept going. When I gave people origami, they would just light up. The power of origami to make people happy is way, way more than I ever thought. I think it's partly because I made them something, but I think it's the origami itself. You're making a piece of paper into something alive almost. If I don't give it away, it's going to take over my house. I like the idea of sending it out into the world and letting it do whatever good it can. I don't know who I'm cheering up. I don't know who's benefiting, but that doesn't matter. I don't need to see the results to be satisfied with that.
Head to the third floor physics department for some free origami. And with that, our second and final installment of CCRI Today wraps up for the spring 2026 semester. I'm Sullivan, and as always, thank you for watching.